And we're live and in total disarray. And
Oh, I
let me
moved.
let me get you where you all belong.
Oh, I'm getting a headache.
There you go. All right, I think that's right.
Woo!
Yay.
Hey!
But yay! Yeah, here we are.
We're back.
Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Hi.
everybody. And hi, Karen and Patty. That's what I was saying earlier.
We are
Yay.
everybody, right? You are everybody today.
They are the
Yes.
important people tonight.
I'm still wore out from the weekend.
Me too.
Up and
And coming
downstairs
back to
and
work.
back and forth and doing this and that and the other. And so I'm glad I'm kind of we're doing palm reading now. Oh no, we're not. So I'm glad it's Ken's week. You probably had probably more wore out than me.
All right.
Not too bad. It could have been worse. I'll put it that way. But no, I got a good night's sleep. Sunday night, I actually went to bed early again. After you guys all left, I ate dinner, and it's like, okay, I'm done. I'm sorry, we ate dinner together, and then I'm like, I'm done. I think I watched about an hour TV and slept all night, but long day yesterday because I actually worked on my way back yesterday.
You worked on your way back.
Oh.
Yep,
That's
I had to stop in Poplar Bluff. One of our stores is down there, and I had to drop off some stuff from the office. So I did, and I think I hung out, worked on a computer while I was there, and got a tour because I've never been to that store.
Cool.
Huge lumber yard and hardware store. So it was fun. By the time I got home last night, I think I stopped in Farmington for about an hour to eat, and I think I got home about a little after 10. So wasn't too bad. I went
So you
straight
can write
to
it
bed.
all off as a business expense. Because
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
You know, in
awesome.
my,
Technically, it's a business expense anyway.
in my 501c3, you know, whatever. I might even double it. Who knows?
But anyhow, it
Anyway,
is your week,
yeah.
so tell us what's going on.
I don't know. No, I do know. I want to reintroduce. Oh, stop it. I want to reintroduce Karen and Patty, good friends of mine. They've been on the show before, and we decided that, we were going to talk about haunted Airbnbs that we've all either been to at the same time, or I think you guys have been to a few of them on your own, elsewhere on different adventures. I know I stay at them every once in a while. They're called Airbnbs, but it's more like almost like hotel rooms for me.
Now, what's the difference between a B&B and an Airbnb?
Well, you fly to one and you don't the other one, I guess.
Well, I figured.
Sometimes you use your broom, sometimes you don't.
Right.
That's right, yeah. I used to have to use a Hoover vacuum cleaner. But, like one of what was it? The witches.
Hocus pocus.
Hocus
Yeah.
Pocus. Yeah, thank
Yep.
you.
Yeah.
Saw that.
I'll be married for Halloween, so.
Oh, you know, I have a Winifred costume and I've never worn it.
Do you really? Ginger's wearing the Winifred costume.
I
That seems appropriate.
I think we discussed my opinion on this movie.
thought we were going to be discussing Airbnbs.
We're going to talk Airbnbs. So people use Airbnbs. They go to them, and sometimes we know that they're haunted, but a lot of times we just, I don't know. I guess it's the luck of the dice, and we end up going someplace, and it's like we get really lucky because all of a sudden we're sitting there, and somebody will start talking to us. It's like, where are you? Or something will happen, and it's really, really fast. Or we'll see somebody walking down the stairs. It's like, whoa, this is even better. But again, we've been to a number of places. I started off with a little bit of a list, and I'm just going to name a couple of names, and we can kind of talk about a lot of different ones. But I know you guys have some too. Where shall we start? Should we start at the Davies house?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we had some really, really interesting adventures at that particular one. I think we had four of us that
Correct.
were there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
there was 4 of
you
us.
guys want to start that one, or want to tell what you guys came up with? No?
Well, I mean, it was
Well-
actually set up like an investigation for starters, but since we had decided to spend the night there, we had some interesting things, which I think you've talked about on the show before, playing poker and stuff like that during the investigation. But Karen, you should tell them about the part where we actually decided we wanted to go to sleep.
Well, so why don't, if you don't mind, if we start the preface on when we first walked into the house, how uncomfortable it felt, right?
Okay.
And all of that. I don't know if you felt that way, Ken, but I did when I walked in on how uncomfortable it was. And then we had heard all the stories about, you didn't, Ken?
No, I felt comfortable the whole time.
Oh,
I knew
okay.
you guys were uncomfortable, and I'm
Yes.
like, okay, so maybe I was absorbing some of it.
I think it was gender
Maybe
based.
a woman wanted
Oh,
you,
yeah.
Ken, and didn't want the women.
Well, you know how things go.
It could have
But
been.
But it wasn't. It was a guy
in the
though.
woman's bedroom, so yes.
Ooh.
Right.
I forgot about that.
There's a guy that lived in the house that was a huge partier, and he even has a hot tub upstairs. So we were upstairs and kind of came up with the idea, and it's not poker because Patty, you already know I can't even count.
That's right. It was blackjack. That's right.
Isn't that your job?
It
Well, I
wasn't
can
even
count,
blackjack.
but not cards. Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
we were playing that, and Ken had his spirit box set up, and we were actually getting responses from the spirits to, and I'm going to say these wrong, to hold or hit me or whatever when it was their turn on the cards. So anyway, so that, that kind of changed the atmosphere. When we went downstairs to go to sleep, Ken slept in the ladies' room, not the bathroom, the ladies' bedroom, and then Andrew and Patty and I slept in, what was it, like a dining room?
Dining room, living room. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I don't know how
It was
to.
open.
what
It was a
you
big
call it.
open room. The furniture
Yeah, we were
got
all
closer
on
together as
couch.
the night went on,
So
Chairs
the
kept getting
kitchen just
closer and
had like
closer.
an open, like there was a bar and you could see right through it. And so we're sleeping, and I'm sleeping on the couch with my feet towards the kitchen, and all of a sudden I just felt really uncomfortable. And I looked up, and there was this huge black shadow of a man standing in the doorway. And Ken, I know it wasn't you. Okay. And it was really tall. It was the wrong doorway. And he just kept standing there, kind of like going back and forth and back and forth. So I said, hey, we're really tired and we're not going to play anymore. And we want to sleep. Would you please leave us alone? And he turned around and walked through the kitchen, I would assume, to go back upstairs.
All dejected. Dejected ghost.
Yeah.
Denied.
That's terrible. Oh, okay.
Probably looking for somebody to party with, and none of us. I was sleeping, and nobody else wanted to do it. So, but yeah, you
But
said
it was so funny when I said it. At least he listened, right, Patty? At least he listened.
Yes. Because either that or we were going to have our chairs pushed so close together because I was uncomfortable. I didn't see what she saw, but I knew I was terribly uncomfortable. And I kept saying, okay, we need to move these love seat sofas. I think I was sleeping in a chair. I don't think it was even a full love seat. And I'm like, okay, we're scooting them closer together.
Too funny.
Well, and before we go any further with this, I do want to pay Patty a huge compliment because she picks out the best Airbnb. Now, Davies, I
Right?
stumbled on when we were going through Ohio, and I booked Davies for all of us. But the other B&Bs, I mean, Patty does a great job finding them for us.
Well, and that's what I was kind of contradicting what Ken was saying about being lucky. I honestly think that there's a feeling when even if you're just scrolling through and you look at a house, you're like, yeah, I think that might be a good one, just get that little extra investigation in their place where we're sleeping, which some people don't agree with that. They don't want to go home to sleep and be disturbed, but we don't care.
Some of them have kept us up all night. True.
Yeah.
I mean,
That would get on my nerves. I want
No.
to sleep. I like ghost hunting and all, but man, when it's time to go to bed, it's time to go to bed. Leave me alone.
Right.
I mean,
Well, that would
No,
be
but not.
I gotta get a shotgun with rock salt in it, right? Supernatural.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I got you. The little fine salt, though, I think good.
The Airbnb owner probably wouldn't be happy with that.
Some of them tell us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead, Patty.
I was going to say, I think probably the first accidental one that we had was up in Ashtabula.
Yeah.
And that surprised the whole group because nobody was expecting anything strange to happen there. And everybody had an experience, I think. It was quite exciting, actually. I know I got the couch that night. And I would have my head at one end, and it was like there was somebody coming down the stairs, or Ken told me there was somebody coming down the stairs he saw. So I'm like, okay, my head's not going to be behind me where the stairs are. I'm going to turn around the other end. And then a nice little old lady from the kitchen kind of watched over my shoulder off and on all night. So it really was no place
lovely.
on the couch that I could sleep with my head that wasn't a ghost behind it.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh
and
my.
I think we kind of figured out that one was. I think there was that older couple. Because I saw the gentleman walking down the stairs. We're all sitting in there just jabbering about what we want to do. I think for dinner or something, and or whatever. And I'm like, anybody see that? And I saw a guy come down the stairwell, kind of come around the corner, and I think only one other person maybe saw it. You might have sensed it, but I actually saw the guy, and I think you just said you saw the woman.
Well, I took your word for that. The woman was watching us from the dining room kitchen area most of the time. She stayed back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think I was sleeping, I think, in their room.
Yeah, right across from the living room.
Yeah.
Down there.
Yeah, because we were getting all sorts of crazy.
And nobody turned on a recorder that night, did they?
Oh no!
Yeah, I know I didn't.
I don't think so. I don't remember. No.
Because we were so surprised that anything could be going on in a place we thought we were just gonna sleep in.
Right.
We were. It was our surprise one. That's why I called it that. Yeah.
Did you tell the
Never
owner?
stayed at the Comfort Inn. I always think it was good.
No, we didn't tell the owner of that one.
No.
You didn't?
No, because I don't even know if I knew the owner.
I wonder if they know.
I did what? I don't know.
Surely, I would hope they do.
It was a.
Well,
I think that
who
it
built
seems
that
to me that we
house?
went
Was
to that little diner down the road that the lady said. We said something about
Yeah.
the place. We were talking to him, right, Karen? Was it?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh,
Definitely.
down there by the
Remember
bridge.
that.
Yes, when we were eating down there by the bridge, we were talking to that one lady.
Barbecue place or whatever. Yeah, I do remember that.
Mhm.
Oh, that was a
Yeah.
fun trip though.
Yeah. Well, I don't even remember what we went to see and what were we doing up there?
We went to Madison Seminary.
Airbnb took over.
Madison.
Madison, that's right.
Madison Seminary. So it was about an hour past, about 30 minutes, I guess, past Cleveland. And then Ashtabula was another 30 minutes beyond that. So we spent, a couple of days up that way. And then we started coming back and stopped at a couple places. I think that's where we found the Davies house, right?
That was correct. That was on the way
I just started
back.
checking around and called and found it, and I was like, okay, we're going to get that. So
Yes, some of the people left because we had 10 people up there in Madison, and most everybody went home different places. And I think the four of us still had to get back to St. Louis. So we're like, heck yeah. So we stayed there at the Davies house that night, which really was a lot of fun, especially when we started playing our version of, we couldn't even call it blackjack. It was just called 21.
Oh
And-
boy.
No, that didn't help
Play
Karen.
games.
She still couldn't add to 21. So
Oh,
And
no.
didn't one of the spirits comment about that?
I mean, yes,
That's right. He laughed at her.
yeah.
You're like, Karen, you broke.
She said, I think she said she'd hold or something, and we got a recording. And I said, "Well, of course you hold. You busted." And then the guy starts laughing.
Yeah,
That's
because you
great.
said Patty, you said something like, "Yeah, of course you do. You got 27." You just-
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that
I
was
can't
fun.
play games. I'm sorry.
So, Karen, why don't you tell about the Ozark Morgue?
Oh,
Yeah, that,
oh, Kenny, take our picture.
Ken's
So,
got pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, so that
I-
place was a great find. When I found it and then we booked it, and I was expecting it to be bigger, but it was actually perfect because it was like one huge room and then a kitchen, and then there was a bathroom off of the first hallway when you come in. And apparently, I just found out the bathroom is actually where they used to do the embalming.
I
Oh,
believe that bathroom
lovely.
was spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the bathroom was, I mean, it was updated, but yeah, it was kind of creepy. Um, and then, so the three of us girls, Andrea and Patty and I, are sleeping in the big king size bed that's got these drapes that go around it, and we're across the room. And Ken's in the smaller bed on the other side. When we finally go to, well, even before we went to sleep, we were hearing noises and walking and tapping on the wall. But when we started going to sleep, you could hear footsteps going by the bed. And of course, I'm sleeping on the side that's open into the walkway in the kitchen. But you could hear the tip, 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 tip in the kitchen, and then between our beds, walking up and down.
Wow.
And I swore we saw shadows around Ken, but
Yeah.
yeah, they said that I was being pestered all night, and I never heard anything. Although before that, you guys, I think before we had all, got ready to go to bed, we were sitting around and we're trying to figure out where are those voices coming from.
Oh, yeah. That was, yeah.
They had this electric
Fireplace.
fireplace, so it kind of kept going around with like the fake flames and all that, but it kept making noise, like it sounded like people talking. And then when we finally noticed it and we started talking about it, it suddenly stopped. Remember that? And
No.
well,
it was.
do you
it was-
remember? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. I was going to say that it just abruptly stopped after maybe about a half hour or so. So we didn't know I didn't know what the heck was going on, but it didn't do it at all when I went to bed. I didn't hear it all night.
Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead.
do you remember when we were trying to figure out where to go eat?
Yes.
And you had your spirit box thingy on, and we were naming off restaurants, and it was telling us, no, don't go there. No, don't go there. And then the one it picked actually turned out to be really good.
Yeah.
Remember, it said,
Awesome.
one of them he said, So we kept that one. The other one he said, just the sound effects. So we boiled down to two. And I said, okay, what about this one? And then the other one, he finally said yes. So we went, and you're right, it was really good. So we got back. We did thank him. So that was nice. But Patty, I think, was that you who was reading or looking through a magazine or a book that was there with women from the 1920s and 30s? And who made the comment that they were really beautiful at that time, the dress and the outfits that they had. And as soon as you said that, it got quiet for a moment, and then out of the kitchen this woman goes, yes.
I do. Now you remind me of it. I do remember that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was
then that fit with the click, click, click that Karen, we said she had heels on.
This is still at that morgue place.
This is the morgue.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. It's a one bedroom, 6 beds. One
bed.
Wow.
6 people, I think, not beds.
6 people. It's 2 beds.
Yeah.
Okay.
It means 3 have to sleep 3 or 4 in one bed. Yes.
Okay. It says 6 guests, 1 bedroom, 6 beds, 1 bathroom.
Yeah, 1 bathroom.
But it's only $100 a night.
Right. And the town is so cool. That is such a cool town.
Very friendly. We went out, they had their Christmas lights up, and we were like talking with the people, and it was great.
Which
and
town
where was this again?
Ashtabula?
It's in Ozark, Missouri.
No,
Ozark.
This is just about 20 miles from Springfield, straight south.
Nice.
Springfield, Missouri. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, because you guys stayed there when we.
Oh yeah, the night before was, or the night after, I think, wasn't it? Pythian.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
Because we did that on Friday, and then I'm sorry, we did Pythian on Friday, and then we all stayed Saturday night because
For the other
PTF
guy's
was
fun.
actually at the other thing on that particular night.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and yeah, we were what 1 block away from the town square,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then we got in the car. The one guy was he and his wife and the kids, I guess, were all running around, and they're telling us about this huge light exhibit, Christmas light exhibit, which was about what maybe 2 miles away. So he gave us directions. We all hopped in the car and we drove through the Christmas light exhibit.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
who was the person that sponsored that? Um, was it one of the Waltons, Walmart people?
No,
I
if
don't remember.
if it was anybody down around Springfield, it would be the Bass Pro family, probably.
Maybe that's what it was. But remember the mansion that was just across the river, and the bridge
Yeah,
was
that
all
was cool.
decorated.
Yes.
That was
Yes.
right at the end. She was the one apparently that sponsored
Oh.
that, and
Okay.
that did that huge exhibit. I couldn't remember who that was.
I mashed the wrong button.
Yeah. We're
Oh, you
haunted
look kind
now.
of pale. You look kind of pale, Shaw. So, but yeah, that was a fun time, and for being a small place, I mean, really small place,
Yeah.
it
Oh,
was
it was a blast.
active. It was
Yeah.
quite active. We had a good time.
And
Definitely.
then if you want to go to Pythian, the other place we stayed to right there in Springfield was the Jefferson Hotel. Karen and I did.
Okay, I heard
Oh,
about that.
that was, oh my gosh.
Mhm.
That almost
Is that the
kind
one
of
that was
reminded
close to where we ate?
What?
Yeah,
It was
I
real.
think so.
We were only about a mile or so from the Pythian. It wasn't far. It was around the corner. We could have walked to the
Okay.
place we ate.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's where y'all were telling us about it.
Yeah.
It was like, oh
Yeah.
man,
Man,
that
was
would have been
that
so
little
cool.
couple of rooms kind of active for us, I
Oh.
thought.
Well, the clawfoot tub, and it had that curtain all the way around it. And I don't know, the whole time I took a shower, I was peeking out because it felt like there was somebody on the
They
other
probably
side of
were.
it.
All bathrooms are haunted. That's what I tell
Is
people.
that the rule? Okay, that's
Just
the
really
rule.
like to watch you pee.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, well, they get lots of time to do that, that's for sure.
Whatever thrills them, whatever.
Okay.
Whatever floats their boat. I mean,
So
Yeah.
Jefferson was pretty good because Adrian, weren't you talking about? Was it Margie was going to have an event there, or somebody was going to have an event there
Where at
at the
Springfield?
Jefferson? Yeah.
No,
Really?
Springfield. It was just a few weeks ago. We did it at XCon.
Was it at the
Oh.
Jefferson?
At the Jefferson Hotel?
No,
No.
That's where it was
Oh.
supposed to be about a
it
year
was
ago.
supposed to be. We stayed at a different place. Forgot where it was. Forgot the
Because there
name of
were some empty, retail places on the main floor, but the other areas were all either apartments or
it. Yeah.
a rental, something.
No, it wasn't at the Jefferson Hotel though.
Okay.
I forget the name of it now. It was
Okay.
a nice hotel.
for
Wasn't
shame.
haunted as far as I know. They did an investigation. They were saying something's going on in the room, but I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
But I didn't do the investigation because there was a bed and I wanted to sleep.
You wanted to sleep.
So
I
did you
really
guys
I really love sleeping. It's great.
It is good. It's a little hard sometimes.
big fan.
Yeah.
so did you guys have some experiences at Jefferson?
I just felt funny in the shower. I don't remember. I think sleeping. Well, Karen was on a sugar high. I don't know when she went to bed. but she
Yeah,
made me
so,
take her to
okay.
the gas station, and I don't know. I think she brought every candy there was in the whole gas station. And she's just staying up munching on chocolates. I'm like, I'm going to bed. She goes, well, the piano might play. And I'm like, well, wake me up if it starts to play. I don't know if it ever did.
Well, so we left Pythian, right? And I had to have some chocolate. And I don't know why. It just hit me. And so we go to this gas station, and I walk in, and this clerk is like, he was either stoned or just extremely not with it. So I walk in and I go, hey, because he was acting real scared. And I go, hey, dude, are you okay? yeah, I'm fine. Why? And his head was twitching. So I go to go
Ooh.
So it's saying,
my
how did you
candy.
all get into this business? First off, I want to say it's
Yeah,
not a business; it's a hobby. It's an expensive one.
Uh-huh.
That's true.
well, so then Patty is trying to wait for me outside, and he goes out and makes her move like 3 spots over, and it's what 2 or 3 in the morning, Patty,
There's nobody
and
else
makes her.
there.
There's the whole parking lot's empty, but he makes her move over a couple of spots because
I didn't want
we've
to
been
park. I was going
handicapped.
to take off if anything bad happened. I don't know.
Yeah, gee, thanks. Yeah,
With or without Karen, right?
Quick getaway.
I
Bye, Felicia. I'm out.
Go ahead.
but yeah, but Patty and I always have adventures when we drive anywhere together. There's always something to happen.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar,
Our,
doesn't it? Well,
even together, our adventures are amazing, aren't they? I mean, all
Yeah.
of us, and individually and everything else. So, yeah, they're never dull. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we've gone through Springfield now. We've been to Ashtabula. We've been
The
to
original Mineral Springs Hotel over there in Illinois.
Oh, okay.
You could stay there. Have you ever stayed there before?
No, I've been in there for dinner once on my way back from Ashmore Estates. I dropped in there for a little bit, but and I walked around. But it's interesting. I've not stayed there though. You guys have stayed there?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Karen, did you go then too?
Was that the
Can't
one
remember.
where Donna Porterfield and I were sleeping in the beds that the floor went downhill, so our heads were sliding off?
Oh,
No.
nice.
Possibly.
Dang it.
I know that was the one that had several suicides in it, and I know that we were wandering around and we were actually had to go to our rooms because there was people still that were just staying there like a regular hotel, and we were wandering around and trying to find stuff, right? And stuff like that. But that's another one
that
that was
the
just
one-
kind of like, pardon?
That's the one in Oakville, Illinois.
Oakville, Illinois, yeah.
Right. That's the one where I was filming Bev doing her rods, and
In the owner's bedroom.
Justin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Justin was typing in, so she couldn't see it on his phone. He was typing in the questions that needed yes or no answers, so that Bev couldn't see them and didn't hear them, and the rods were answering perfectly.
And he was also
Wow.
typing in names and saying point the rods towards that person, and she couldn't see
Right.
who he was typing in. So that was in the actual owner's, I guess, area where they lived, part of the hotel.
Cool.
Like their rooms. But I don't know. We did stay at a couple places. We went last summer too, when we went to Kentucky, Tennessee.
Okay.
Okay, did you go to Kentucky or did you go to Tennessee?
We went to both. Obviously, they're pretty darn close, right? We went to Nashville and we stayed at an Airbnb. I was super excited about it because my niece actually cleans it. So she told me all the things that had been happening to her and her daughter while she was there. And luckily, we were able to bring them up there while we were visiting. And I think it really got them going, don't you, Karen? I mean, from whatever it is, I think it's because my great niece is just this cute little teenage girl or whatever. But they started with pulling their hairs and stuff while they're cleaning, but they were actually talking to us once we were doing a little investigation with my great niece. So she enjoyed it, although I'm not sure as much later when she thought about it is what my her mom told me.
That's funny.
Yeah, when she had to
I don't
go
know
back
if she
in
ever
there on
goes
her
and
own
helps
to
her clean anymore.
Yeah.
So
But
was that a private location?
it was a 1920s. It was an Airbnb, and it was a 1920s Sears Craftsman house.
Oh, okay.
Super cute, up on the hill, just probably a 1.5 miles, 2 miles from downtown Nashville.
Okay.
And I think the family was definitely still there. And if you commented, they had a lot of want to call them tchotchkes all sitting around. I can't say that any of them were family, but they were definitely related to the time that the house was built. Different things that you could look and see and touch and everything like that. And a lot of these owners, it seems to me, at the Airbnbs, the one in Kentucky that we stayed at also want you to know the full history. They want you to know about the people that lived there. They want, I get into that because I like the history.
Oh yeah.
But that also gives us information to try to communicate in case there's anybody still there.
And we can talk their language basically.
Or at least call out by name people that we think might be there. So
In their era, and yeah.
I've never had anybody say anything to me for the ones that I've rented. I've always gotten great reviews, and nobody has ever said anything to me like, "Oh, well, if something happens, don't you tell anybody." Like as if they're afraid they're not going to get renter. People come and lease it anymore because they're afraid or something like that.
You're going to get more.
Well,
You said hi.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe.
Hi, Tina.
Yeah.
Hey, Tina.
I have run into one or two places, Patty, that the owners know it's haunted, but they have somehow convinced the spirits to be subdued and not interact, almost to the point, one of them was almost to the point of threatening them. Don't you do this or I'll make you go away, or something weird. Maybe not to that extreme, but you know what I'm saying. Just
what?
But it's people are different. Some people are different. They don't want they don't want you to know it's haunted, or they do know it's haunted, but they don't want to be known that it's haunted. And I was there, and as soon as I walked in, I knew there was something going on, and I didn't know I wasn't supposed to do an investigation in my room, which I did. And I had the spirit box going for a little bit and didn't really hear much, but I took some video down the hall and I see these two little orbs just cruising along the floor, and then they went up in the air and disappeared. And I'm like, oh, that was really cool. And that's all I really got that night. The next morning, talking to the people, and I'm kind of feeling things out. I'm like, you got any weird stuff going on around here? Then they saw my hat. And he goes, well, actually we do. There's two spirits here. And I capture orbs buzzing around along the floors, on the hallways occasionally. And I'm like, he said, but I don't tell anybody. I'm like, I'm going to zip this one up. So I didn't say anything to them about it. But yeah, I got about a 5-10 second video of these two little orbs cruising from the bathroom over to the bedroom. I'm like, got it. Awesome. So yeah, but he didn't want it. But then he said, I've got 3 or 4 other buildings in the area that, I broadcast all the time that they're not finished yet, but said there's stuff going on all the time. I'm like, and you need to come over and check those out. I'm like, well, next time up that way.
Yeah.
But it's just people are different, and I don't understand why. But I guess they feel that if people know about it, then no, they're not gonna stay there very much. So I don't.
Some of the people they buy these houses. Obviously, they're expensive to keep up. You don't just build take a house that was built in 1920 and it's going to be just, like no upkeep, maintenance free, stuff like that. So they're investing a lot of money, energy, time. Some of them love. Couldn't you tell that one in Russellville was well loved, Karen? I mean, you could tell that the owner of that place, yeah. But they don't live there all the time, at least. And so if at all you show interest in the history, which you do, which I'm not faking, but if you just show interest in the history, interest in the home, I think they welcome you with open arms, investigating or not. You know what I mean? I'm not coming in here and ghost busting. We're coming up in here and we're studying the history. We're just trying to ask some of the original owners what's going, about it. So
it kind of depends on the people, because I know, and I did not stay there. I wanted to, but they knew I was an investigator. There's a place in Boonville, Missouri,
Mhm.
and the two people they were there, I questioned them if, hey, would it be okay if we got several people together and do some investigating and rent the whole place for the weekend. The answer was, we're both scientists. We do not believe in that thing, so we are not going to allow you to do this. He was
Okay.
very polite, and I'm like, okay, fine, goodbye.
Yeah.
So I drove around the place, took some pictures, and left. I'm like,
Yeah.
they no longer own it, thank goodness, but I don't know who does anymore. But
Yeah.
there are some people like that, which is crazy.
Mhm.
I mean, in my world, it's crazy, but they have their reasons and they do it.
Well, we
So,
do have to talk about the one B&B we stayed in recently with
Mhm.
Pam and Shaw and Patty and
Yes.
I and Ken
mhm.
up in
Yeah,
Jeff
that was
City. That
amazing.
house was so flippin' active after we started playing games. They,
Yeah.
and no, it wasn't blackjack. But they started getting really. We could
For
hear
21.
footsteps above us, and then Shaw had went upstairs, and we thought she was moving furniture. It was so loud, but it was on the wrong side.
Nope.
And
I mean,
yeah, I mean that house was active all night.
well, I thought you
Anybody
had
want
gotten
to
up to
say?
go to the bathroom or something because you had said something about going upstairs to sleep. And it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. Patty said that she went to the bathroom, but the bathroom is like on down. And it was like, it sounded almost like it was in my room. Just walking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Shaw, didn't you
Well, those
say that
stairs to
actually?
the attic
Okay.
were right over that room. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was in the far corner of your room, correct?
Of my room?
right.
Wasn't
The
it
court.
by your room where the attic stairwell was?
Oh,
Yes.
that stairwell was right by my room.
Where the camera was, so she had it facing away from where all the action we heard was coming.
Right.
Wasn't that right, Shaw? You
Well,
said the
we
camera
tried
was in the
to.
corner facing out.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, the camera that was with us when we were playing the game was right on us.
No, I mean after you went to bed.
No, we're talking
Oh,
about
after I went to bed.
upstairs.
Yeah, it was away from me and pointed towards the doorway of my room.
Yeah. And it was
Well,
happening right
Shaw,
above it.
you said you were gonna go up and talk to your husband,
Yeah.
and then we started hearing all this noise, and we're like, "Whoa, okay,
Yeah.
they got
Yeah.
some stuff going on." I'm assuming this
No.
is an adult show, so we're okay. But,
And we thought you were rearranging the room upstairs and throwing things around.
Yeah.
Wow, that
Right.
loud.
It was
Yes,
loud.
it was real loud. Yeah.
And stomping,
Dang.
right? Foot stomping too.
Well, that's kind of like what I was hearing. I was hearing doors opening and closing and everything. But like I said, the bathroom is on down and it sounded like it was like right there.
And
So,
I heard I was downstairs. I didn't hear hardly anything, and you guys were hearing all of this upstairs. I don't know, which were you near where I was, like above me, or
We were
me?
No, she was in that room where the table was.
I didn't go upstairs.
No. When we were all playing.
Shaw's room was above the dining room where we were.
Oh, got
she
you,
was in the
got you.
room
Okay.
above us. Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
right.
Huh. That's wild.
I know that when I did decide to go up to bed, because I had picked that room because I thought I had a feeling there was a female presence there. But I was so tired by the time the prison and all that other stuff was over with. I said, all right, we're going to bed now, and I'm not in the mood to talk or anything like that. So the night's over. Let's just go to bed. And
But
she
they
didn't
were
bother.
so-
I didn't hear anything either. I mean, other than my accidental recording of me sleeping a little bit, but that was it.
Oh, I recorded me sleeping that whole night. So there's like snoring all over the place. But
Same here.
was the game. The game. We were playing
Yeah.
trivia.
Yeah.
And Ken was the ghost's hands.
I was a helper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing. It was interacting with us the whole time.
Yeah, we'd pick out a card, and it was a trivia contest. And basically, the way we were playing, the first one that knew the answer just blurted it out instead of going around and around. But so I remember. I think Shaw. I think it was your turn, and you picked out one, and you looked at it. So I can't use that one. Threw it down, and picked up another one. And before you even asked the question, The spirit goes, beep.
Yes.
Shaw
It
looks
was
at the card,
cheating.
looks at us, throws the card down, and said, "You're right."
I said it was cheating because he was looking over my shoulder.
Yeah.
So the spirit ended up was a male voice, right?
Mhm.
It's a female every once in a while, but yeah,
Mostly male.
I'm
Well,
sorry,
have
he.
you noticed though, and Shaw, I know you're going to remember this. When we were at Mac and Cheer and we were playing games, they were responding with the answers. So the key must be
Yes.
play games and have them join and
Yep. And play
they have a
because
good
that's what I think that's what they want though. They want that interaction. They don't want to just, well, my story is this.
Yeah.
You know?
That makes sense.
That's
Something
like
new
something
and
different you
interesting.
don't see people
Yeah.
doing.
Right? They
Yeah.
want to be human for the
Yeah.
little bit of time that people are interacting with them.
They
Yeah.
don't
well, they
want to
can't
be.
because they're all demons. Oh no, I didn't say that.
Oh, every single one of them, plus the next one. No,
Yeah, right.
that's totally wrong. Totally wrong. But oh yeah, that was so much fun though. But the
They might be
next,
calling us demons for playing all these games, especially cards, if they were of a certain faith.
Right?
True.
Oh,
good
you know
point.
what? I didn't think about that. And so here's a good question I have for you guys. Why is it all the spirits that we interact with, none of them are from the 80s or the 2000s?
I
You
ask that.
know?
I ask that all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
I've
think
I've had some interesting ones that I mean, I don't know. Okay, there's some places that I've gone to that I don't ask them what year they're from. So I mean,
Yeah.
it could be a possibility that some of them are from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s.
I think the guy at the Davies house was.
the guy I saw here in this house is probably
Oh, that's a
50s
good
or
point. That's
60s.
a good point.
But you know,
No,
I've
Patty
had
brought up a good
interactions
point,
with
you
my
know.
cousin, and he died when my oldest son was 9. Him
Oh
and my
wow.
oldest son
Okay.
was around the same age. And I mean, I've talked to Ken about this and Pam, and I've had interactions with him.
Yeah.
So
All right.
I think it just
corrected.
depends.
So here's a
I've
question
never
I have
seen a
about
Civil
this.
War ghost.
You what?
I've never seen a Civil War ghost. I've
There's
never
been a lot of
seen-
people that have, though.
Really?
No,
I have.
yeah. Well, no, I'm
I
saying.
have.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I have, but yeah.
But I'm saying to your question, like everyone that I've seen has been in normal clothes.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
just so
Oh, okay.
I've not seen one of those dated things. So it's
I
kind
thought
of
you did in the hospital, though.
huh?
Didn't you in the hospital?
In the hospital, it looked like I didn't even respond to them as ghosts until they disappeared because I thought there would be people on the tour. So
Oh.
yeah,
wow.
so they didn't
Okay.
look out of the ordinary at all. So they could have been. I mean,
That's
other than big hair, they
crazy.
could have been from the 80s. I don't know.
Huh.
Wow.
No big
That'll
hair.
get
Because I would have said that don't fit in today.
I
Big old wings. Hi. Not hairspray. Scared
miss
you.
my big hair.
I had that I had that in the
big hair.
90s.
Yeah, I did
I
too.
had the big hair in the 90s.
I did too.
In the 80s, man, the
80s
bangs
and
that stood
90s.
up like
Yeah,
this
I
and
get-
they
yeah.
would look like spiders. Yeah.
I had the
Yep.
the sides that came way out. My boss at
Yep.
the time called me an African Zulu person because the sides stood out so far.
So Adrian, I have a question for you.
What's that?
So you live in a haunted house.
Yes.
Okay, I've lived in haunted houses before. So what makes it different to be able to sleep comfortably in your own home versus sleeping in a Airbnb or someplace else, any haunted location you go to? Different.
Oh,
What makes it different?
I don't have any problem going to sleep in a haunted location. That doesn't bother me at all. I'm going to go to sleep.
Okay.
I just if they're bugging me, it's going to piss me off because I want to sleep.
So how do you get yours to
But no,
leave you alone?
nothing scares me.
Yeah.
The only thing that scared me was the possibility of my children procreating. They finally did that, so that I'm over it.
Wait a minute. What'd you say?
Oh my god!
Okay, this family show.
Well, not anymore.
Well, yeah.
Karen broke that.
It happened. I have grandchildren now, so. But
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
like
Oh, I caught what you said.
Has
Tina's in the
anybody
chat.
else
She just,
has anybody else in the group lived in a haunted house where it was just like basically
You
like,
said-
oh yeah, so that's Joe. Don't worry about him, you know?
Yeah.
Right now.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah, there's a little boy that lives here.
see, Tina just
I
said
call
we're
him
used to ours,
Tobias.
so yeah.
We lived in one, our last big house. It was haunted. And
Yeah.
you just get used to it. And it doesn't happen constantly. It's, it wasn't like every day. It wasn't even every
No,
week.
it doesn't happen every day.
So,
It's once in a
yeah.
blue moon. And then you'll
Yeah.
hear something like a whistle or a knock
Yes.
and then that's when you're like, okay, Tobias, what do you need?
Yeah.
And it
I
may
had
not even
one
be
that kept-
Tobias. My grandmother's come and visit me.
Mine kept turning the water on or breaking or kind of loosening up the pipes so I'd get a leak. That was kind of annoying, because I kept
Yeah,
getting a
that would
leak
be.
underneath my kitchen sink. And other people had been with me before when the water got turned on in the bathroom, and they're like, "What was that?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. This particular ghost has a thing about water. I don't know if he's a plumber in his previous life or what, but he's always messing with the water. I don't know."
Well, there was one it just could be coincidental, but in water like a conduit for
It's supposed to be energy,
or-
yeah, kind of
Running
makes,
water, I
makes
think
more
running
energy.
natural water. I don't think just, yeah.
You think it's just natural water? You don't think it could be just running water in particular?
Hell, I don't know how that stuff works.
Oh, man.
Me
But
neither.
I know that's one of the things they talk about, all the spiritual energy here, because we get that big old river that runs by. So
Mhm.
that's
Right.
constant moving water. So,
Yeah.
and I can get that. I can kind of understand that, I guess.
Yeah.
As far as,
So then you'd have
those theories go.
Water's also cleansing though too. So, it's kind of like, which way does it go? Does it stimulate or does it make them go away? It's kind of contradictory.
Yeah. I don't know.
It
Who
is.
knows? We don't.
Good point.
Constant
We
showers,
think we know. We just don't.
We think we know, but we don't really know anything. That's
No.
true.
No, we
The
don't.
second we think we do, we need to know we're wrong. Because
Yeah.
I'm always
Need to admit
questioning.
it. Yeah, admit
Always
it.
questioning.
Yeah.
Like, what's causing this and what's causing that? It's just like the hearing aid thing that I was talking about at the
Yeah.
expo. I was talking about, I may hear something that other people may not hear because it's talking through my hearing aid and not through anything else. And
That's, but that's
good
what Kelly
point.
just said. She said, at my house, we have voices. So, yeah, you're telling me you have voices in your head?
all right.
Nice.
It's okay,
Oh,
Kelly.
boy.
I
Like I
think
said,
we're
I haven't had my
we're
hearing aid.
looking at where the comma is, Kelly. So, yeah. So we weren't sure where the voices were.
But I have
speaking
not
of
had my
voices,
hearing aid pop up with EDPs yet. So I'm waiting for that to happen.
I think my brother told. We were talking. Yeah, we were. We were talking about it Saturday.
You're going to have to slam in there,
Yeah.
Karen.
I noticed. Yeah.
I apologize, but we were
That's
talking
okay.
about hearing aids, and I told you guys my brother hears things through his all the time, and he has Bluetooth
Oh.
as well.
And now you can have
Yeah, the
all the
Bluetooth
ghost
ones.
hunters out there going to Walmart and getting the cheapest hearing aid.
Pair of hearing aids.
That's not going to work.
So I better go buy some
Funny.
stock in that company real quick. So
Oh,
So I
right.
wonder the next time we're actually out somewhere, or you guys are out somewhere, you should say, "Hey, I have a device in my ear that you can actually speak through."
But
and
then I can't
hear."
catch it with anything. I don't want them to talk through my hearing aid. I want them to talk
That's a
through.
good point. Good point. That's a good point.
I want to catch it. I'll be like, no. And then everybody thinks I'm crazy. Oh, wait. They already think I'm crazy.
You are. You are.
That we
Karen's
know.
turn.
It's
Karen's turn. Oh, go ahead,
You are.
Karen.
Oh,
You're not
thank
here.
you. I'm sitting here trying to watch my screen on my laptop so I can see you guys, and then on the
Well,
phone
we're
too. 'cause
not
the
here.
camera doesn't- Okay, so
All right.
stop it. So I'm going to do a
I had to get up and plug in.
for Where Pigs Fly, because some of us are going to be going there on November 9th and talking about hearing voices and stuff. Stephanie O'Reilly was down there with me. I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah, it was 2 years ago. And she's got these recorders that are just awesome, and they pick up everything. So Patty, you're going to really like this place. there's two really active rooms. One upstairs, the middle bedroom, and then downstairs in the back of the house. Remember when I showed you where the other bathroom was, and there was a bedroom
Mhm.
down there behind the French doors? There's always a lot of activity in there, and Stephanie was picking up voices like crazy, and we were getting responses. So if anybody cares, we're doing a fundraiser for them. So please come on my
Yay.
Facebook and pay attention to my fundraiser. I'm still working on trying to get it loaded up to help the
I
farm out.
need you
It's a
to make
rescue
that shareable because I tried to
Yeah.
share it and I couldn't share it.
Couldn't either.
farm.
I
I've tried
tried
everything
to.
I can to make it shareable. Did it
Send
work
it to
for
me
you, Pam?
through.
What?
Your what?
Did it
What?
work for you, Pam?
No, it didn't.
No.
Well, it's funny. Guess who it worked for? Stephanie.
Who?
She got in there right away and was able to load it. And I'm like, what? You
How?
can do it. Why can't anybody?
I'm just going to
I tried
screenshot it and
copying.
share it.
I tried to copy and paste it, and it just
Yeah, I did.
didn't.
I
No.
tried like 2 or 3 different ways and couldn't
Well,
get it to
try
work.
sharing
So
the invitation because the invitation has everything on it.
I'll have to check
I
that
don't know if I can share the invitation. I think it just says, "Are you interested?" Going. I don't know.
Oh, it won't let you add people? It won't let you invite?
I'll look again.
You
Okay.
can do it
Well, I'm
individually.
sorry, guys. I apologize from the bottom of my heart to your millions of listeners on here. 2
It's
years ago, I did a
billions.
fundraiser on
Billions.
Facebook and it worked out great. And this year, nothing is working. I'm 2
It
years
never
older and I
fails.
have some timers. So,
It's okay. I did share
Sometimes.
something.
Yeah.
I don't know what I shared, but I
Yeah.
shared something.
I love
Well, I know,
that.
but Pam and Patty are going to be there. So this is
Yes.
going to be a new location for them. And I
I
think you guys
really
are going
wanted to
enjoy it.
go. I really
Wow.
did. I hate that I'm not getting to
Yeah,
go.
yeah. You always back out when I want to do something with you.
Ah, no.
I was
If
I
the
was on
grandbaby
the
wasn't
verge of backing
due,
out.
At
if
least
the
he's
grandbaby wasn't, at least I'm consistent. If the grandbaby wasn't due Friday, I would definitely be going. But with the grandbaby due Friday, there's just no way I can. I've already taken 3 days off.
Right. No, no.
I was on the edge of backing out, but
You got somebody
Yeah.
to come ride with you?
I got somebody to go ride with me, and I really want to meet Gwen. So
And I offered to drive
You
You
all the
did.
way up and get you, Pam.
did.
you did, and I'm not going to have you do that, but I appreciate it.
Well, you know,
that's-
you and Stephanie both live in Kansas at the other ends. Maybe you guys could meet halfway down,
and
like
then
on a
drive
Y,
over,
Yeah,
then drive down.
meet in Kansas City, and head over.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's in between you guys.
Just don't get on the
that
toll
is a
road.
really cool.
Or
It
meet in
used to
Joplin,
be
I
an
guess.
open bed and breakfast, and it's a really cool place. It is shut down now for outside investigations. If somebody wants to go there, she doesn't mind if I set it up, but it's not open to the public anymore because of too much stuff. So,
Yeah.
and vandalism.
Yeah.
Did you get the
That's
history from her,
sad.
Karen? Did she ever give you the history?
No, but
You know
I'm
me, I want
pulling some
history.
together.
Right?
I know,
Give
right?
me the history.
Give me the
Well,
history.
give me another. I got another week and a half. I'll get the history.
I may have some because I did. Well, I know I used to give tours out there too, or overnights occasionally through Monster Paranormal, and I've got a short. I do have a short lecture about it, showing some of the things we found. So I think there might be some information.
I just need a family name, like who owned the farm. You know, cute.
Ivan.
Yeah.
Ivan. I-V-E-N's the last name.
It's
I-V-E-N?
isn't it? I've
What's
been
that?
drinking.
Because it's known as the Ivan House.
So,
Okay.
And there's actually some relatives in the area because I wasn't there because I don't know, I was sick or something, but I know some of the relatives actually came to one of the investigations, the overnights.
Yeah, Steve
They
and I
live
were
both
there for that.
Yeah, that's
Steve
right.
and I were there. Yeah, and they were telling us stories about being family and growing up around there and everything. So
Yeah.
cool. But we'll get a history together. I got a few things, and Ken, whatever else you have, if you can shoot it to me.
Sure, I can do that. So yeah, it's a fun place, and that whole area, it's not just it. What I've discovered, it's not just ghosty spirit stuff. That's where I saw cryptid. Steve and I saw cryptid. We've seen UFOs out there. We've seen a craft that was just completely covering the sky. We had a cryptid run across the street. I'm sorry, across the highway about 2 miles down the road when we were heading towards Lynn. It's an amazing, amazing area, and yeah, I think you're gonna have a good time. I really do. Hopefully, hopefully the weather will be clear sky like it was for us so many times out there. It's beautiful. And if there's only a small amount of moon, you can really see the stars and even a little bit of the Milky Way because it's so dark.
So a viewer
Hey,
was
Kim, we'll make
talking
sure you
about
see the
like in the
moon.
past.
What was that?
A little bit back.
I got
Yeah,
it.
you'll see the moon. Makita Fox says that you can say that you have a person in your chat who has something that's unknown, but there is a male spirit. My grand visits occasionally, and my friend's mom. So they get to see all those spirits and talk to all those spirits that I just mentioned in that.
Cool.
Very cool.
But yeah, I
Right.
just saw it.
I've often wondered if any of the spirits that have lived with me have been relatives. But
Yeah.
if they were, I wasn't able to ever identify them as such.
It's weird because with my Oma, I smell her Moore's cigarettes because Moore's has that distinct kind of smell.
Yeah.
And I smell her cigarettes and I'm like, Oma, I'm fine. And with my mama, it was totally different. It's just a feeling.
Yeah.
I don't smell anything. I don't, I feel this I guess, sadness because I love my mama. I miss my mama. But other than that, that's the only difference that I really have whenever it comes to them two. And then with my cousin, it was dreams.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, my sister passed, and she was a firm believer. She wasn't able to ghost hunt because of her heart problems. But I took her to Cheney once, her and my other sisters, they had an awesome experience there. But the bottom line is after she passed, we had always had this pact. Whoever goes, we both believe, so somebody's going to come and tell you something. Somehow you're going to get this across. She's been gone 2 years now, and all I've had is dreams. I haven't had anything more than that. But she has come in my dreams a couple times. So I'm like, okay, sis, you're working on it. Maybe it takes you a little while to get the hang of this,
That's
I
awesome.
believe that's the case.
Nobody
Because I believe
comes
it's
to
like it's like
Nobody does it. Is that telling
Nobody
you
comes
something,
to me.
Adrian?
I
Me.
asked the spirits
He's
if
good.
they had jobs after they're gone. They said yes, and somebody said you got to go to school too, and we also heard yes. Everybody's like, oh my god!
Yeah.
So
I've
they
had
had
that told to me by a
That's
couple
funny.
different people, like find your purpose and then maybe you have time to visit like on the weekend. I don't know.
yeah,
No.
there you go. Yeah.
Hey, we got to wrap this up. We got like 1 minute. So,
I'm down to
We got-
15% on my phone, so yeah.
okay, that's good.
Hey, perfect
Yeah, last one,
timing.
So, we'll get this last minute to Shauna. What are you doing next?
Next week, we're going to talk about the rundown of the year. We're going to talk about all our awesome, fantabulous stuff we've done this year. And we're going to talk about our awesome event that we just came from the Arkansas Paranormal Expo.
Yay.
Oh,
That'd be
a
fun.
mixed bag.
Sounds like a good time.
Sounds
Sounds
like
like
does.
fun.
I wonder if I was there. Yeah, I was there. Wasn't I?
you were mostly there.
You were
Saturday,
a
I
little
was
tired.
barely there. Saturday.
a little
Well,
tired.
You
Saturday
were barely
was
there. It's kind of zombified, but you were there.
And the
Don't
lady-
forget to support your local businesses and all that this Halloween as well. Make sure
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
go and be safe.
and follow or check on the Where Pigs Fly
Yes.
fundraiser event
Website.
that we're doing. The reason we're doing it is because we're trying to help Cindy pay for hay and other foods for the animals that they have. And how many animals do they have now?
Got
Approximately.
over 500 animals there.
Wow.
they need
So
help.
you guys, this all goes to a good cause, a great cause.
It's a big deal.
Winter's
And the
coming.
camel I heard was
Animals.
amazing.
What's
All
the
these animals-
camel's name?
Or abandoned or
Leroy.
didn't have any place to
Leroy.
go. Or man. Oh,
What
Leroy,
was that?
my man.
But I'm
He's
not
my
kissing
man.
him. Karen kisses him. I'm not kissing the camel.
All right,
Patty didn't-
everybody.
He didn't
Thank
believe
you.
it until I put the cracker in. Yeah.
Bye bye, Leroy.
Bye.
Funny.
Stick around.
Bye,
Bye,
y'all.
everybody. We'll see you next week.
Good night.
Night.